We'll move on to our next session, which is Big Shift BPO Readiness for AI. Artificial Intelligence is getting ready for business. This will be getting covered by Mr. Jeetendra Singh, Head of Data Science, Analytics and Innovation from WNS. Mr. Jeetendra possesses over 20 years of expertise in emerging technologies such as generative AI, knowledge graph, explainable AI, ML ops, data engineering, and application development. He holds a master's degree from IIT Chennai and KIT Germany, and he is an MBA gold medalist from Alliance Business School, Bangalore. Additionally, he holds a PG diploma in AI or ML from the University of Texas. Can I have a huge round of applause for Mr. Jeetendra?
Good morning. Am I audible? Okay, perfect. So I'm sorry, I think I'm the one who is probably pulling you back from this tea break. I wanted a longer break, but probably Swati is the reason. Okay, so with that, let's begin. I think they have a tight schedule. So I think I have a very interesting topic, BPO readiness and then readiness of artificial intelligence. So I was also a bit confused. What should I cover, BPO readiness or AI readiness? So I'll try to do justice in next 10-15 minutes, and we'll keep 5 minutes for Q&A. So I really don't have a GAN slide, honestly speaking. And it was very difficult to convince my own internal team to kind of prepare a slide which is compatible with their format and all that. So I've just collated something so that we can have a more engaging discussion. So with that, let me begin. So here are the 5-6 key bullet points I'm going to cover. So I'll maybe spend 2-3 minutes to cover. Is it really true that AI is now ready for business? And then are we really ready as a business to adopt AI in our BPO operation? And then what are the opportunities and space we see there, at least I see in WNS, and as I'm speaking to many customers, what do I see out there? So in my assessment, I think AI is near ready, but let's look at the facts, right? I think the development of different AI models, and I'm not going to read through it, but some of the previous panelists, they were talking about different scenario. And if you look at this evolution chart, right, I think we have developed all sorts of AI model now, which is able to generate image, text, and all that. If I just give the context, right, where we are in terms of evolution, the latest one, which is 2023 models, we are talking about AI models with give and take 500 billion parameters to a trillion parameter now. I think it's not giving you any context what I'm talking about, right? But if you imagine what are the neurons we have in our mind, right? Human being, any guess how many neurons we have or learning parameters we have in our mind? Come again? No, Milan, I think so so we are pretty decent or evolved human being, right? So we are about give and take 100 billion. We don't really have exact counting, but yeah, somewhere in the range of 100 billion parameters what we have in our mind. What we are dealing with in just last 6 months to a year, hardly a year, okay? When the models have evolved where the learning parameters have crossed 100 billion threshold already. So what you are dealing with the latest GPT-4 or all the competitors of GPT-4 in the range of a trillion parameter. That means 10 times more reasoning, memory capability or whatever you call it, and that's exactly why if it is able to see whatever it is able to see from open source, it is able to reproduce. So if you are asking a question to a model today, how is it able to answer it? It doesn't have a memory, right? It doesn't have a database to pull the information and respond to you. It's responding based on what it has learned in a completely different way. You can't go in and search it, but if you are asking, then it can respond, right? That data can be retrieved only through the interface. No way you can go in and read in the database, right? So that's the one leg of it. The other leg is computing power. So if we have to run a model with a trillion parameter, it's not going to run on a CPU, and maybe that may be the reason why NVIDIA's here is now, NVIDIA is a $1 trillion company and Intel is a 200, I think the last I saw was $150 billion company, because they are still stuck to CPU. The world has gone to GPU and TPU, right? So the computing power is available now, which can run large model at a significantly faster pace. And then the cloud has enabled this infrastructure for you at a pay-per-use, serverless architecture and all that. So basically, in my assessment, the technology and the supporting infrastructure is there for us to basically leverage it. choice is whether we are going to leverage or not. Let's see. Now comes to the capability part of it. So I talked about a scale, right? So scale is already there. Probably we believe that it can do something. What all different things it can do? So as you can see, I'm just mentioning the task now AI can do for you, right? Or AI can do for us. So technically, whatever we are doing as a human being, it has the ability to do it. Question is, do we allow it to do it or not? So at least what I have seen in WNS and in other engagements, that we are not allowing AI to take over anything directly. Hardly, I mean, we talk about a straight-through process in many instances to customer and influence them or maybe impress them, but really doesn't work in that way. But human in the loop is prevalent now. I cannot imagine any process, even your engagement with any digital channel, without AI. I think somebody was talking about self-serve system, somebody was talking about fraud detection. In every process you are basically engaging with has some element of AI already. Now the question is what level of AI engagement, be it 10% or 90%, right? We are not talking about 100% yet, but of course you are also seeing a Tesla car or an autonomous car, so you are near 100%, right? So it has the ability, but the way we see it is, if you rely on the middle layer, right? Please note that these AI models are coming pre-trained for you. So I have written that, so when you say GPT, it's a generative pre-trained transformer, or if it's called LLMs, a large language model, but it also has a pre-trained component. And the benefit of that is that 5 years back when we were building an AI model, we had to build the model, means we have to create your own data set, you have to do a lot of other things, then train it, and then you deploy it. Everything has changed for good. Now you go and just subscribe Azure OpenAI subscription or Amazon Bedrock, and you have a very, very powerful model ready to use. That to pay per use, okay? But there is a caveat that this capability is built on a publicly available data, and hence it may not perform in your context, in your company context. And that's where I have just mentioned that if you really want to leverage this, I would say uncontrolled, unguided system, power of it, then you need to put a customization or a control layer on top of it, and then it really becomes a very powerful tool to really give you a meaningful productivity. And we have seen productivity in certain cases going up to 70–80% as well, right? So that's the construct I'm talking about. So from a AI perspective, I think we are ready. Now from a business perspective, right? Why do we really need to become so nimble, so agile, so predictive? In fact, all of us are trying to predict future, and whoever is able to predict future with more accuracy, none of us will be right, but more accuracy probably will be the winner, right? Because we need to predict customer behavior, customer demand in supply chain. Everywhere basically you are trying to predict the next thing going to happen so that you are better prepared for it, right? If you relate your own experience, 10–15 years back, let's say if you had a bad experience with any product or any service, what was our option? Probably just talking to neighbor and complaining about it, maybe meeting somebody in the evening in office, probably complaining about it, and that's all. So it was not really hurting company in a big way. Today, if you have a bad experience with a brand or a product, what do? You just go in and write a review, and the AI models are all around, basically reading your bad reviews, good reviews, and it matters to company now, right? So one review matters to a company, right? 0.1% event is significant for a company, and hence the BPO work is going to increase. So I will not say AI is taking or not taking over, but I can guarantee you that AI is increasing the work for us, okay? Because the channel of engagements are so many. I think now consumers are interacting with brand in so many ways that is a task in itself to manage it. And now 0.1% is also statistically significant now, which was not significant. And hence, I mean, it's like you can say, if I have to achieve 95% quality, probably it was not a big deal. But if I have to achieve 99%, it was a big deal. And if it is 99.9%, it's an even bigger deal, right? I think that's the scenario we're getting in. If we have to make sure that every single customer is happy with us, I think it's not an easy task. You need AI and human and everything put together to deliver that. So that's where business scenario is already there. Now this is McKinsey report. We all have probably seen it. but it's very impactful. I think I just thought of sharing for 30 seconds. What they're saying is that if you are leveraging AI to basically increase your business, I think the cost of doing it versus the benefit coming out, as you can see on this portion here, it's a very minuscule. Right? If you want to increase revenue by investing into AI, yes, you will get it, but probably the return is not that significant. But if you are looking from a labor productivity perspective, this is the pool you are investing and this is the return you are getting. It's a representative data, McKinsey, which clearly tells you that I think the focus of AI is definitely going towards labor productivity, and which is very, very significant number they are projecting, right? So what they are saying is anywhere between 2.6 to 4 trillion productivity on the business growth side. But look at the productivity they are talking about on the labor productivity side, some 6-7 trillion. This is not the saving they are talking about, by the way, right? What they are saying is, as you make your resources more productive, they will pick up more work. As I said, now consumers are engaging with brand in many different ways, right? That's creating new avenues to make money, to engage resources, and so many other things. You are freeing up resources for something else. I mean, I come from automotive and industrial background as well. I'll just quote an example. In 2004, 2005, we were talking to Frost and Sullivan for understanding the automotive market of India. I think back in those days, probably we were selling give and take a lakh car in a year kind of a scenario, okay? And then they projected what you see today, but we were not able to believe that they said by 2015, give and take time frame, India will produce every year number of car equal to what we have produced from 1947 to 2000. I mean, that's the magnitude. Now, if you see in a context, even if with a very high level of automation, job is getting lost or job is getting created. Both of them are true. If you go to painting shop, welding shop, assembly shop, you see automation everywhere. But the magnitude of work is so big that even if it's a 70-80% automation, with this 20% human intervention, still you need 10 times more workforce in automotive industry today than what we required in 2005, right? So that's the power of value gain or efficiency gain we are talking about, right? I think that's the way pie is going to grow for everybody. For sure, AI will partly do our job, what we are doing today, but a new value stream will get created, and the overall pie will be so big that the amount of work human will do is still going to be more than what we are doing today. That's my guarantee to you. So that's the side of business and AI. Now, if I say how are you going to drive transformation in your business, right? So as I said, like AI is there, ready for transformation. I think business context is also there. I cannot imagine any true transformation, right? I'm not talking about your value stream transformation or line of business transformation. If you are really talking about true digital transformation, it cannot happen without AI. We do not have any transformation, at least in my experience, where AI or intelligence is not there. And this is what Gartner is also saying. If you really want a digital operation, it has to be powered by AI. Otherwise, we just can't manage the complexity what we have today, right? I mean, I was just talking to Microsoft very recently to protect our, let's say, deployment of OpenAI thing. And then they said, oh, you have to use Sentinel. We said, okay, what is the Sentinel? Then we talked to Sentinel vendor. And at the back of it, basically, they are running a very complex AI model to see from where the traffic is coming, doing all sorts of graph analytics and whatnot to figure out. So again, transformation is there because they are giving you their security, but powered by AI, right? So that's the way I see it, that in every transformation, I think AI is at the core. Of course, you need all the enabling, either hyper automation or digital platform or whatever it is, but you can't live without intelligence anymore. And that's an opportunity space for us, whether we really want to restrict ourselves to the voice service we were providing or the manual service we were providing, or we want to grow the envelope as a BPO company and that own the entire pie. That's the choice we have to make, but it is required now. So if I imagine that what is the ecosystem we need to really deliver superlative result for AI, these are the 4 or 5 layers I see. One is you need to build the data architecture for that. You need to have a right database on which you can run the query faster. You can't run things in a conventional way. You need to have a vector database of late we are seeing for all LLM models to search on a text data, and then application, and last but not the least, security, right? So this is how you need to build the ecosystem. Somebody has to enable this for us so that we can leverage it, or we can own both the part, the delivery and the infrastructure together, because we know the process well. Of course, there's a choice we have to make, but these are enabling ecosystem. Without this, AI will not work for us. I'll skip this slide quickly. So 4 bullet points for me on the BPM side. Question was asked like, is it going to improve the efficiency of our agent? Answer is yes. As I said, AI is now able to empower us. Example, agent assist we are using, as I said, human in the loop. Now you are calling to basically a contact center. Before your call lands to somebody, we have all the history known about you, that how many times you have called before, what was your experience in last call, who spoke to you, what was the promise given to you. Everything is available on the dashboard, which is the virtual assistant AI powered is doing to the agent, and then agent is saying, hello sir, how can I help you? By the time he has already figured out what is the solution he is going to give you, right? That's the power. If I go on the capability of AI beyond human intelligence, I'll not get into the analogy, but as we all agree that AI has the ability to do so many complex things, which we could have also done, but probably it will take years together, right? If I have to find a fraud ring in our data, probably it is going to take few months or years to even decipher it. Or if I'm doing any supply chain optimization, of course we can do it manually, but we are using computer to do that, right? So that's where exactly it is. Last 2 slides quickly. So is it helping us in reducing the core or reducing error, improving customer experience? Answer is absolutely yes. I can say probably BPO should be renamed as CXO, Customer Experience Outsourcing. I think we have reached to that point that we are managing customer experience. And as I said, like we are able to respond to your problem upfront. We know why you are calling us upfront. Hence, I'm definitely able to improve customer experience. Taking less time to resolve your query. Imagine you are asking a question and I'm an agent. I don't know about it. I would have searched, I would have put your call on hold and then responded, right, after 5 minutes. Today, I have a response, near correct response available on the screen, and I'm just in a flow conversing with you, right? That's an experience we are talking about. Yeah, I think that's all I had.